Find courage in your own way.
Someone who's selfless and doesn't give up.
For me, it would be when you do something that's difficult, but it's the right thing to do, and you aren't afraid of any kind of criticism or hardship that you may encounter. You just do it because it's right.
The virtue of the month for October is courage. Courage is a cardinal virtue, and all of the other moral virtues are hinged upon it. Also called fortitude, courage is the ability to do what is right in the face of temptation, fear, trials of life, and persecution. Bravery is also one of the grandfather teachings. The Anishinaabe word for bravery means state of having a fearless heart, to do what is right even when the consequences are unpleasant. Actions that demonstrate courage include working collaboratively with someone whom you are not friends with, choosing to participate instead of sitting back, seeing someone who is alone and talking to them, being resourceful when faced with a new situation, challenging yourself to be cooperative instead of competitive, asking for forgiveness when you make a mistake or hurt someone's feelings, and talking to God when you feel afraid.
When you hear the word courage, what comes to mind?
Superheroes from comic books. As a child, I read a lot of comic books, and the heroes always stood out to me as the ones who were the most courageous because they always went off against the bad guys, and they always win.
Person you think of when you hear the word courage?
My dad, because he's a cop.
Who comes to mind when you hear the word courage?
First off, when I think courage, I think my father. My father passed away 19 years ago. He had brain cancer, and there's never once a time where my dad said, "Why me?" And he lived life to the fullest. He was there to see me become a teacher, his lifelong goal. But the number one thing with my dad was he fought it. And he said, "We're going to try this. We're going to try all different types of remedies," and it didn't work. And I think deep down he knew that, but he still had the courage to fight through it and deal with it and live a life that a lot of people don't live in one full lifetime. Even though it was cut short, my 61-year-old father is still living with me now, and the courage that he displayed was probably more gratifying to me now, 19 years later, than it was at the time. So I take solace in knowing that my dad was a man who never gave up. Thanks.
When you hear the word courage, who is a person you think about?
When I hear the word courage, I think of my grade 8 teacher, Ms. Lipinski. She really taught our class what courage means and showed us how to be strong.
Someone who comes to mind when you hear the word courage, for me, would be Terry Fox. He was a Canadian athlete, and in 1980 he got cancer, and he had to get his leg amputated. That didn't stop him though, because he then embarked on an east to west cross Canada run to raise money and awareness for cancer, which personally is insane. Along his journey, he got some good news and he got some bad news. And the bad news was that the cancer spread throughout his body while he was running cross country. That didn't stop him. He still went on, he still ran. And he wasn't quite at the end of his run and passed away. I learn about him every single year. Every year when the annual Terry Fox run, you learn about him. And ever since I was a kid, you think of courage and you think of him.
The name Terry Fox will forever be my definition of courage.